Hello, Jen here, and I have a special layout for you guys today. I am participating in the Secret Not Secret Kit Club telephone YouTube hop. So we played telephone scrap lift, or whatever you want to call this game, at the end of June for the Secret Not Secret Kit Club scrap party, and we had so much fun that we thought it would be a really good idea to do this as a YouTube hop so that you guys get to participate in the fun as well. So the premise of telephone when it comes to scrapbooking is the first person is given a layout and they have to scrap lift that layout. No one sees it but them. Then they pass on their new layout to the second person. The second person scrap lifts them, takes their layout, passes it on to the third person. The third person scrap lifts the second person, and so on until everybody has had a chance to scrap lift the person before them. And once that's all done, then we get to, everyone except the first person obviously gets to see what the original looks like, and then we get to see that really cool transition from the beginning to the end. And it was a ton of fun, so we wanted you guys to enjoy it as well. So this is, I guess, the second last layout in our YouTube hop. There are a few groups that are doing YouTube videos, and there are some ladies that are doing Instagram. I'm going to leave the links to my group down below. Definitely start at Becky if you haven't been following all the way through. That way you get to follow along in the right sequence and see the whole process from start to end. Miranda's video will be up tomorrow, so she's the last one in the sequence. So once that has happened, then you can actually watch it all the way through. But I will also leave the links to the first person in all the other groups as well. That way you can go and check out all of the different groups that participated, because it's so much fun and it's really cool to see how the layouts change and what elements each person kind of picked up on from the person in front of them. And it's really interesting to see that some elements change completely from beginning to end, and then there's always an element here or there that kind of sticks, and so it's in the original layout and it seems to kind of follow all the way through every layout. So it's really interesting to see what that might be as well. So I posted Amy's layout. She was the person in front of me. In my group we have Becky and Moira and Christina and Desiree and Amy, myself, and Miranda. So I am scrap lifting Amy's layout, and what stuck out to me the most with hers was that big diagonal element, or sort of triangular element. So I kind of copied how she had a couple of mats in her background. So I have my white background, and then I have that blue background with the little pink plus signs, and then I really wanted to get a big diagonal element in there too. So I didn't have anything that I could kind of cut into a triangle, but I had this black and white paper, and this actually comes from a Secret Not Secret Kit Club kit from June. So I thought it was perfect to actually use one of my kits during this hop as well. So I pulled out all of the elements that I thought would work really well. So I'm going to use that black and white kind of to represent those diagonal lines. And at first you saw me, I was sort of trying to figure out how to use it vertically, and then I was thinking maybe I could kind of cut it up so that I actually had a triangular feature on my layout. But in the end, I kind of like it just like this. And actually, if you were to pause right now, I probably would have just left my layout where it is. Put the picture on it, leave the little embellishments where they were, and not add anything else. But I really wanted to get those strips of paper in there too, because I just think that that's a really fun extra element that she had in her layout. And I was also trying to figure out what parts of her layout came from the original and what parts were her little special touches that she added. So in the end, I went for busy and kind of tried to get it all in there. So here are my paper strips, and I'm using one entire collection. Apart from the black and white paper, it all came in the same kit, but that one paper is from a different collection, but all the other ones are from the All Heart collection. And so I don't have the full collection. I just have a few of the papers. I have a few of the ephemera pieces. You saw me flipping through those. Those are the only elements of ephemera I have. I have the puffy stickers and I have that sticker sheet. And so I kind of thought to myself, I could either go stingy and kind of hold back a little bit and make sure that I kind of kept a lot of elements so that I could really stretch the pieces that I do have and get a lot of layouts done with it, or I could just go all in and put as much as possible, and I won't get as many layouts out of it, but I kind of get the most use out of it on one layout. And so that's what I'm going for. I feel like I'm a one or the other kind of person. If you look at my layouts, I'm either a little more simple, a little more stingy, or stingy is the wrong word. I'm not stingy, just a little more discerning about what elements I put on my layout, or I am an all or nothing and I put absolutely everything I can onto the layout and make a super busy layout. I like the look of both. So yeah, and I do like the way that this layout turns out. There's so many little features and elements and details in it. So, but that I kind of did that intentionally when I realized that I either had to make sure I had enough pieces to make lots of layouts, or just go and make one super big layout. And I think I definitely have enough stickers. They're going to stretch for a long time, and I've been using them on a ton of other layouts here and there because they just seem to have colors that match other things. I've used them on a couple Wild Whisper layouts and stuff like that. Same with the puffy stickers. But I think I have enough ephemera pieces that are all sort of in the same theme of being really super girly that I think I can definitely get one more really nice layout. I also cut into most of my papers. Actually, I think probably all of my papers except one. So, once you cut into them, I kind of only have the scraps left anyway, so I'll probably get one really good layout and then maybe another one with a few scraps in it. But yeah, that was my thinking behind making this as busy as it is. But definitely go back and if you saw that one moment where there was just the blue border, the black and white stripes, and the white background, and then those embellishment clusters, I'm going to go back and scrap lift that because I really liked it at that point as well. I could have called it done at that point as well. So I've got my vertical element. I've got my strips of paper. I really love that paper that looks like a periodic table. I kind of based my strips off of that. As soon as I saw that, I said, yeah, that's perfect. It's the element that I need. I like that it has a little bit of the holographic foiling to it, so it kind of adds a little bit of just, I don't know, a little bit of shine or a little bit of something different. And then I pulled out all the other elements that kind of had something to do with encouragement or inspiration. So there's a lot of she shines and it's a great day and big plans and that kind of thing, because my picture is of my daughter she's sitting on a window seat in a hotel room. I think we were on, I want to say the 18th floor. We were pretty high up, and this was right before a dance competition. And so she was just taking a moment to kind of sit and get herself in the right headspace and visualize. She was going to do her solo that day. So just kind of, visualize getting out there on stage and doing really well. and I just liked the way that she was sort of silhouetted. So the picture is pretty boring. There aren't a lot of really great colors in it. She is wearing a really fun plaid shirt, but because she's in silhouette, it's really dark. So you really have to be looking at the picture in person to tell that there's color in the photo. And so I like that the layout gets to be really busy, and the layout gets to have all the really fun elements, because this photo doesn't necessarily have to be the focal point, if that makes sense. So I threw everything on there that I could. So I have, let me see. So I explained about the diagonal paper, and I explained about the matting, and I explained about the paper strips. Oh yes, and then the last thing that stuck out for me with Amy's layout is that she had 4 embellishment clusters. And the reason that stuck out for me is because I'm one of those people, I actually think I've mentioned this in videos before, but I'm one of those people that right from the beginning of my scrapbooking days, I've always sort of had it in my head that the rule of 3s, that visual triangle, the rule of 3. And so when I see people creating outside of that rule, either maybe having just one really big sort of embellishment cluster or focal point of embellishments, or only using 2, or in this case Amy had 4 little embellishment clusters, that always sticks out to me because it's just not something I naturally do. So I really wanted to imitate that and give myself permission to sneak in another embellishment cluster there. And I know you guys are probably rolling your eyes like, oh, Jen, come on. But, you know, sometimes we do get trapped in our safe zone, right? So it was just another thing for me to be able to kind of break out of my box a little bit. So I went with the 4th one, and it's also because I just really liked that She Shines sticker, and I thought that it made a really nice element. So there are 4 embellishment clusters, the paper strips, and that diagonal element. And as of right now, me creating the layout, but also doing this voiceover, I have no idea what anyone else's layouts look like. I've only seen Amy's because obviously I had to scrap lift hers. So I haven't seen the original, and I haven't seen anyone else's. So I actually get to see the reveals with you guys and follow the telephone hop from day 1 all the way through until Miranda tomorrow with you guys. So it's kind of cool. Oh, you could see I was actually counting. I'm like, okay, I have the diagonal, and I have the 4 embellishment clusters, and I have the paper strips, and then I zoomed in a little bit to see if she had splatters or anything like that, and she does, so I'm going to go for that too. I'm just using, it's the Heidi Swap Color Shine Texture Paste, and so I had pink and blue, so I used some pink. And then there I kind of added a touch of blue to give me that purple. It's like a very dull purple. So I thought that would work out well. It actually looks really nice in person. And then I have this blue from Shimmers. And it's really, really bright. And it kind of matches the sky. It doesn't really match the blues in the collection, but it matched the sky, so I thought that was really nice and kind of gives that bright pop. And then I'm going to add some white enamel dots. Those come from Michaels. Oh, did I mention that I added those tassels? I just had the 3 tassels. That's what Christina sent me. And so again, I had to think, am I going to just use 1? I'm probably not going to use 2, so I might as well throw all 3 of them on there. So that's what I did. And that is my layout. Thank you so much for watching. I really, really appreciate it. If you have any questions, leave them for me in the comments down below. And remember to click all those links so that you guys can play along and see the whole transition from beginning to end. Until next time, happy scrapping. Bye!